Good morning. Hope y'all are having a good Monday morning. We are having a good day. We went for a walk around the block. Uh-oh. Stanley knocked my phone. I don't know if it's really Stanley or his tail or if it was just that it wasn't very good on the tripod. Oh, Lucy's coming in. Hello, Lucy. If Stanley would stop by. Stanley, sit. Good. Now you can see Lucy if Stanley sits. Two good puppies here. I haven't fed them yet. They must be hungry. Are you hungry? Well, we'll eat right after this, okay? I'm sorry, puppies. Anyway, I'm going to send you two out of the room. And we'll get this done, and then I'll feed you. The sooner y'all leave, the sooner we eat. You eat. I've already eaten because I'm a bad owner. Okay. Well, we're continuing talking about E. Stanley Jones and some of the works he did. And this is The Word Became Flesh. We started looking at this yesterday. And I was looking through it, looking to see something that, there's lots of stuff that's worth reading here, but see if anything really caught my eye. And there's this paragraph in this book. We continue our meditation on the way leading to the truth and the life. We insisted that you find the truth as you follow the way. And the truth is capitalized, the way is capitalized. Of course, the truth, Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus enunciated this principle when he said, he that is willing to do the will shall know of the teaching. He that is willing to do shall know. A Hindu said to me, is that the price of knowing the truth, being willing to do the will of God? Then I shall not know, for I am not willing to do. He was profoundly right. We know as much of the truth as we are willing to practice on the way, and no more. If the Word doesn't become flesh in us, it doesn't remain as the Word, except as a poor ghost. So here he's saying the flesh, the Word becomes flesh in his followers. It's like the law being written on our hearts, as Jeremiah said. And it makes me think of also John chapter 6. There's no communion in Gospel of John. There's a last meeting, and it doesn't even say there's a supper, I don't think, but where Jesus washes their feet. But there's no communion in the Gospel of John. That happens after Jesus fed the 5,000, after he walked on the water. And then he starts talking, you have to eat my flesh and drink of my blood. And I kind of think that what he's saying there, he is the Word become flesh. If we look back at John chapter 1, I think he's saying that the Word needs to become flesh in you. I'm the Word. The Word needs to become flesh in you. You are what you eat, basically. I say basically a lot. I've been watching these videos. I say basically an awful lot. That's my favorite word, basically. Basically is my favorite word, basically. So, let's go on to Christian maturity. We are looking at the book of Acts chapter 2, verses 46 and 47. Day by day, as they spent much time together in the temple, they broke bread at home and ate their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having the goodwill of all the people. And day by day, the Lord added to their number those who were being saved. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. And now, our reading from Christian maturity. This is week 5, Monday. Central thing in maturity, fellowship. We have been introduced to the central thing in maturity, fellowship. Those who are drawn in upon themselves, ingrown or incapable of fellowship, and hence immature persons. Once you get in touch with the expansive God, you find yourself expanded. You are inwardly united, become outgoing, become capable of love, of fellowship. You are a mature person in the making. The maturest society ever seen on our planet was the group of early Christians in the Acts of the Apostles. Their fellowship was so deep that they called it the fellowship, the koinonia. Out of that fellowship, their maturity arose spontaneously and immediately. It was a double fellowship with God and with each other. It was the fellowship. In John's epistle, the fellowship was with both God and people, so that you may have fellowship with us, and our fellowship is with the Father and with his Son, Jesus Christ. The mentioning of fellowship with us is important and purposive. For the Gnostics, the knowers were snobbish in their pretended knowing. They were the elite, the Illuminati. They had no more care for the common people than if these were a lower order, beasts. For this lower order of people lived in the material. The Gnostics lived in the spiritual, the esoteric group. John sent a dart at the heart of all the spiritual snobbery when he quietly said, "That which we have seen and heard we proclaim also to you, so that you may have fellowship with us." The esoteric was gone. Everything was open to everybody. Through familiarity, the radical nature of that simple statement has been lost on us. As God's arms are open to everybody and everything, so our arms are open to everybody and everything. The barriers are down between God and human beings, and between human beings and other human beings. That simple statement has enough social and spiritual dynamite in it to blow our existing institutions and attitudes to pieces. I think he's basically saying the word needs to become, essentially he's saying the word needs to become flesh in us. Here's our prayer for today. Oh Father, thou dost quietly drop the seed of... Let's start over. Oh Father, you quietly drop the seed of your truth into our hearts, and lo, we find that seed become revolution. If we are to have fellowship with you, how can we refuse to have fellowship with any other person, anywhere? Amen. Our affirmation for the day. As an outer expression of my fellowship with you, I shall fellowship with everybody I can. In these days of pandemic and isolation, it's not easy to have fellowship. We have to come up with new creative ways to have fellowship with one another, because it's a vital part of the Christian existence and experience. And I'm about to sneeze. Jesus is Lord.